South Africa's leadership is under scrutiny as the older generation continues holding on to key political positions. But what makes a good or great leader? Well, let's discuss this. We're now joined via Teams by Professor Mazwe Majola of the Worldwide Institute of Leadership and Development. Thank you so much for your time, Prof. Now, as we reflect on the country's 30 years of democracy, leadership crisis has been blamed, just for some of the country's top challenges, namely high unemployment, energy and water crisis, just to name a few. Before we delve into the gaps, perhaps let's look at what are the characteristics of a good leader, both in the private and the public sector.
Good afternoon, Unati. Thank you so much for the invitation. A great leader, it's a leader who put people first. A leader who is a servant of the people, who will be serving people, who will not be serving himself or herself. It's very, very important that as we are going to the elections on the 29th May, people must look for those leaders who put people first. People, they will know that these leaders will be able to hold them accountable whenever they are doing things wrong. We need leaders who are honest, leaders who are with integrity, leaders who are not patronizing or abusing our people, but leaders who will be treating our people with respect, with love, and who will know that these people, they need services, and then these people, they need to be served. Not the people who are only just going to people during electioneering, and once elections are done and you don't see those people anywhere. Those are not authentic leaders. Those are not genuine leaders. These are leaders who are abusing people, who are patronizing our people. So our people must be very vigilant and alert, and they must be awake as they are looking for good leaders that they will be voting on the 29th of May.
Now, one of the fundamental, things or concerns that were highlighted in the Zondo Commission, for one, was the lack of good governance. And I mean, having just listened to the Auditor General saying that, we urgently need ethical, responsible and responsive leaders. So how critical then is the need for ethical leadership, and how would it look like?
Ethical leadership is so important, but it is accompanied by consequence leadership. So that when a leader, because of course, yes, we agree. I mean, leaders are human beings. They are not perfect. They will make errors and mistakes, but great leaders are the kind of leaders who will, when they make mistakes, they will be humble and accept and admit those mistakes and make amends. So you don't want leaders who will go out there and not even accept or admit when he is wrong. So consequence leaders or leadership is then those people who are doing wrong things. They must be punished, so that other people must see that when you are doing something wrong is wrong. You need leaders who will talk the talk and walk the walk. Not leaders who will say one thing and on another side saying different things. So it's very important that the leaders who are on top, they must be very decisive, and they must be responsible and responsive, as the Auditor General is saying. Is very correct that when something or someone is doing something wrong, those people must be shown the door. But it starts with them first. Leadership is exemplary. That is why I'm saying you talk the talk and walk the walk, so that other people, they can see from you first as a leader that you mean what you are saying and you say what you mean.
Prof, I was reading an article recently. Smu Zikode, leader of the social movement Abahlali Basemjondolo, was quoted saying, "What you do today has to reflect in society, in the society you want tomorrow." I mean, with that in mind, and with only a few weeks to the elections, what kind of leaders do we then need in government, especially if that vision is for then a safe, prosperous, and inclusive society?
Oh, well, I mean, leaders and managers who are in government are servants, So, as I said earlier on rail, you just need people who will put people first, or rather, you need leaders who will put the people's needs first before their own needs. Leaders who will respect people, whenever they are servicing and serving these people, they will do it with love. With compassion, with empathy, and with exuberance, so that they are not forced as they are doing this thing. But it's not only public sector, even private sector as well, even community as well. As long as you are a leader in your own space, you've got to serve people. You've got to know that this is not about you, but it's about your followers or about your team members and about the people that are following you.
And I suppose then we have to have that active citizenry to make sure that leaders that don't perform are then voted out. But thank you so much, Prof. That's all the time we need. We have, in fact, today, Professor Mazwe Majola of the Worldwide Institute of Leadership and Development, just talking to us there about the kind of leadership we need in South Africa today.